This is the Justin Cox podcast.
What's going on, man?
I was teaching my kids how to play the guitar, which was a mess, but we're working on it.
Were you?
Yeah, they, just strumming. Yeah, it's. Do you do that? You teach your kids how to work on music at all or anything like that?
My kids, yeah. Everett and Embry, the two littlest ones, they sing all day long. They know so many songs. You would love it. The older ones, they're a little embarrassed. They don't really know that I could.
That's funny you say that because, I work on kids' music and I have my kids involved and I'm always like, why don't you show your kids in your class, what we've done? And he's like, no, I'm good on that. And I'm like, you're already there? You're already there at 10 years old. Nice.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. That means he's probably going to be really good when he's older.
That's right. Yeah, I think so. It's a good sign. But, man, we've got a lot of people out there that don't want to finish work. And, they've got songs that they just let sit until they die. And you wonder what kind of good stuff is out there that we're missing.
Yeah. Yeah, true. That's why I always try to get Ben on board. Ben Stone, one of the best guitarists I know. Super good songwriter. He's just a hard-working guy. It's just hard to get him in the studio. But when I do get him in the studio, we've already got a lot of songs together just from playing together over the years. But yeah, he's one of those guys that, like, he might not have anything on streaming, but you run into him and see him play one time, and you're like, whoa, this guy's like, he's born to do this.
Yeah, I know that this has nothing to do with Ben Stone, but I wonder if the whole country, if everybody made more money, that you'd see more activity in the art form, in the arts. So I think that's a question I always have. Would he work less and enjoy playing more? I don't know. That's a question that I like to ask myself.
No, it's the same thing like with the typical artist struggle. I mean, that goes with really any creative thing that you're trying to make become your job. And it's tough. It's tough out here. It's tough out here for musicians. Promo in general is like the hardest thing. It always has been for me. But I've always been a studio guy, and I've always been hands-on in the video world, and I was never good at promo. It's one thing that I really need to work on. I need to outsource for.
Yeah, it's a problem with every artist, and it's the way that we're wired, I think, and the other side of that is a person that knows how to promote and sell. And I think that that's probably what you're missing, and I would like to see companies form or a small business of some sort of an organization that would devote their time into helping organize bands, groups to come together, but there's just no return. And then those people need to be able to have an income. And again, we're back to, wow, if people made more money, this would be something that people would invest more in and take risks. But,
I've had a lot of people ask me things like, and I'm sure you have too, that, like, should I learn how to play guitar? Or if I get a guitar, will you teach me? And sometimes I'm like, I want to be like, it's a lot of work. You got to dedicate a lot of time to it. You got to really love it. But you don't want to discourage anybody from trying. Everybody should try to do music, of course, I think. But
what it takes is that
creative, not just music. But.
Yeah, but it takes people to see somebody else doing it. Like my kids, like they are not interested in that guitar sitting in the corner until I pick it up and I'm like actually playing songs and chords, and then they're like, wait a second, people can play guitar, like they're actually good at this, and my own dad actually knows what he's doing. Maybe I know how to play guitar. Maybe I could figure this out. And that's when it clicks. But then you're right, you get into that wall where you're like, wait, this is work. This does not come easy. And it's like getting calluses and, like you can, like learning a chord and getting your hand in the position you want it to go in is one thing, but then switching to a whole nother figuration in chord, it can be really challenging and tough, especially when you've got faster songs and quicker changes. Yeah. But it all comes gradually, and this is why I like having this conversation, because I deal with this stuff all the time where...
As far as like what you do with making kids songs and stuff, and even getting your own kids involved, the thing that I like to do is, or even not even just kids, even adults that are at the beginning point, is just to have them think of it like the memory game you played when you were a kid. I mean, the guitar neck is literally that. The notes on a guitar will never change. if you're in standard E, it's never going to change. So you only really got to learn it once. And if you're playing every day and you're practicing every day, you're not going to forget it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And making it like a fun game has always been like my go-to for helping friends and helping kids learn how to play guitar and stuff like that.
My dad is who I learned from.
Yeah.
I would watch him play guitar. A cool story, like I'd go down, we had a drum set, and I'd play, and I'd be messing around, not making a darn bit of sense of what I was playing. And eventually one time he was like, look, if you're going to be down here and playing with me, you need to make sense with what you're doing and take it seriously. I probably sat up in the stairs for like 30 minutes just listening to him play and thinking about that. And that's like the first time it clicked for me. Like, okay, I do want to take this seriously. And one day, years later, I'm up playing songs and like Joe Walsh stuff. And he came up with a little guitar and an amp and was like jamming with me. And, we'd been playing for years after that. But then it just kind of clicked. He's like, okay, I can keep up with you now, Pops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably such a good feeling for him too. Just to know, because like I'm not gonna force my kids to go into music or anything like that, but that it naturally happening like that, the way you wanted it to, like that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool story for sure. I
like
sharing.
Good inspiration, really good inspiration.
Yeah,
my dad was a musician too. He was a drummer, and that was my first instrument was drums, and then he played a little guitar, and then I slowly worked my way more into guitar and drums now. But yeah,
I remember, you were one of those students when you came in. It was like, Josh is playing the drums and Josh is playing the guitar, and then you kind of after that for a while, we didn't see that anymore. And you've done Wayside. You have your own solo music. Sarah did the artwork, which is awesome. So anybody that needs artwork, take a look at Josh's work, my work. She's always interested in doing that. But yeah, man, tell me about what you've got going on. I know you have a performance coming up, right?
Yeah, this Saturday. It's the summer party, the Only Noise summer party at Blind Bob's. And I go on stage at 10. So there's a bunch of really good artists there that I'm actually working with. But anyways, a lot of the show is going to be awesome. It's hosted by Chris Daly, and he's going to film the whole event, and yeah, it's going to be awesome.
June 4th.
Do what?
June 4th, right?
Yeah, June 4th, Saturday, June 4th, Blind Bob's.
Doors open at 8, I think it said.
Yeah, 8 or 9. I can't exactly remember.
Can you tell me about the other artists that are going to be there? Do you have a list offhand?
I have a list. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I know a couple of them, but I don't want to be wrong. It's been changed. Okay. Let's see here. Put my camera. How do you do this on Skype?
Well, it's all good, man. I think that I saw Chris was going to be performing.
There we go.
You figured it out, man. Nice. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, Chris Cobain.
Here's the lineup. Cali Reset, Scotty T, Lil Rage Pack, Trash Dog, myself. I go on at 10. Chicken Chop, Chris Cobain, Young Ease, Boogie Woods, Spyro, Pledge, Sleeko Got Bars, Postman, Smokey Smooth, Four Seasons, and C Money.
That's a good list there.
Yeah. So, me and Pledge have a song coming here soon. Cobain, I'm super close with Cobain. We've got a bunch of music already, and we have more coming as well. C Money, we might have one coming. We did a song a long time ago, but he's super good. Probably my favorite artist in the city as far as R&B and hip-hop goes.
Okay.
And Sleeko Got Bars. Sleeko Got Bars is another super dope artist from the city, and we got a little EP coming soon, me and him.
You always have a lot going on. You really do. There's always features and videos, and I mean, right now we haven't even discussed what you do with the drones, and that's really exciting too.
Yeah, so like I said, I've always been the guy that was mixing, mastering for everybody, doing videos for everybody, never in the spotlight, never posting about myself, never doing my own videos. So finally, I'm just now doing it. I'm reaching out to industry guys and also local guys that I think are super good, and just like trying to build a catalog really. Like I have 11 albums between myself and band on streaming now, so I just want to start reaching out and doing as many songs with other people and networking as much as I can now, because that's something I never did before and I overlooked. So we locked in. So I locked in a few features with Darian Saffron, which is super cool. He's super good. He was on Tech Nine's label, Strange Music. His dad, Mike Saffron, was the drummer for Marvin Gaye and Chuck Berry and a few other people in that world. But Darian, he's from St. Louis, and he's a super good singer, rapper too, producer, everything. And we just did like, I have a song with him that's been out for a while, and we just did like another 3. And then Jerry Robinson from Tech Nine's label, who's consistently dropping videos with Tech Nine now, which I think that feature is super important because that's similar to like somebody who's currently released. So Eminem is the #1 mainstream selling hip hop artist of all time. Tech Nine is the #1 independent selling music artist of all time. And Jerry Robinson right now is consistently dropping with Tech Nine, and I'm doing a song with him. So that's why that's important to me. Not only because he's awesome and I've always looked up to him, but it's important to me because that's similar to somebody who's currently releasing music with Eminem, and I get the song. I just hope that it at least gains a little traction and finally does something, because it's been a really long time.
It seems from just what you're talking, what you're saying, is that quantity is really important and almost more important than quality at this point. Would you agree with that when it comes to promoting yourself? The more songs, the better. Not putting all your efforts into one song, which I'm kind of doing and have done. But do you agree with that assessment?
Only at first, I think you should just work on your craft, not whether that. It's up to you whether or not you want to release it, but I feel like people that are just starting should probably work on the craft more and not worry about quantity so much. But once you get comfortable and you're in your zone and you have a home studio where you can knock out songs quickly, but they're still quality songs, then that's when I feel like you could start reaching out and just working heavy as much as you can and networking as much as you can at that point.
Yeah, we're different in that way in some respects, because you'll let go a lot of the work that you've done, that you've released, and you won't go back and work on it, as where I'm still going back and remastering things. I'm still not happy with Volume 3. I probably will go back and tighten that up again.
There's something that stuck with me, and I think you told me this a long time ago. You said, nothing I've ever done is finished, or something like. It was very similar to that, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, every song I've ever done, I put out, and it wasn't done yet. Every song, because I'll tweak it to death if it was up to me. But
that's true, and that's
you
got to release it. But part of that conversation I remember was about how I'm going to take the work that I've done in recordings and guitar lines and drum beats, and I'm going to rework them, and I'm going to make them into other songs and do a whole collage of stuff. And like going back to Volume 5 and putting vocals on Volume 5, like that. Those are right. You know what? This is important to talk about too. You always want to have a mystery box involved. That's that J.J. Abrams mindset, where any TV show that you make or any movie, you have to keep people guessing. And I think that's one of the reasons I like that. Don't record vocals on Volume 5, because. Not that anybody cares, I understand that, because nobody's following me. But if there was a chance where I did have people buying my music and people seeking, stuff, it would be really cool to be like, hey, here's Volume 5, but now with vocals. And just like when you tell a story, don't explain the whole story. Keep things, private, because what we've seen with celebrities is that they're making a lot of money on these secrets and their stories that they haven't told by writing books and getting on talk shows and talking about this stuff. So, I mean, again, that's all far-fetched, but it's something to think about.
Yeah, I agree completely.
What's up with Wayside? Are you guys...
So... I was keeping it a secret for a while, but it's no longer a secret because we've already talked about it on social media and stuff. But we have a song with Ritz coming.
Cool.
So that is super, super cool for us. Like, I'm excited. It's somebody we've looked up to for a long time. And he's huge. He's the biggest artist we've ever worked with. So I'm excited about it.
I'm
don't
excited for you.
Followers he actually has all added up, but it's in the millions.
Kill it, man. You guys haven't started the recording yet, have you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Yep, we already have his verse and everything, and it's amazing. And I have to set my game up.
Cool. Well, I know Mike Reel's performing quite a bit. He's doing well, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, everybody's got to go get this. Class 6.
Class 6.
There's hard copies you can get a hold of Mike for.
Okay.
But it's coming out June 10th. And I mixed and mastered the whole album with Mike side by side. And the whole thing is produced by Don Johnson. Super good producer from, I think, like Yellow Springs, Springfield-ish area. Yeah, he's awesome. We've done a lot of stuff for him. He produced over half of our last EP, I'm pretty sure. So
Nice.
yeah, he's one of the best local producers we know. So, but yeah, Mike's album is amazing. It's really, really good. You got it. I mean, Mike's always been amazing.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, he's like my brother. That's why we always do music together.
He put the education in too, you know.
He decides to help you out.
Besides who? I'm sorry.
I would say, the closest people to me that are doing music, I would say, aside from you, would be Mike Reality, who I'm in Wayside with, Josh Wright, J. Wright, and Bubby Galloway. All of them are amazing, and Bruce as well. I don't know if you're hip to Steve Moore, Fade.
Yeah, he was one of my students. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot he went there. So many people went to our school. Yeah, we just did a song together. He's a super good artist too. So, and that was a lot. We actually both grew up in a small town and then moved and went to, we lived like 15 minutes away from each other our whole lives, and it took us this long to make a song together. But yeah, it turned out really, really good. That's coming out soon too.
He's got good social media presence, Stephen Moore.
Yeah, he does.
He does a good job. He does. Well, cool, man. So I appreciate talking with you. Josh Cox here, talking with me, Justin Cost. We are in a project right now. He's actually featured on my song Straight Line, which was on Volume 1. A lot of people like that song. Everybody that I know that has listened to my music really likes Straight Line. So, yeah. Josh, you upped that song so much. It's so much better than what it was because of you, and it added a whole new level. So I really appreciate that.
I love that song. That was the one that really stuck out to me on Volume 1, and they're all amazing, but that was the one that stuck out to me basically because at that time I was really into hip hop, and that has a hip hop life in it somewhere. And like, I know that's not exactly what the original song wasn't exactly that, but it kind of morphed it to kind of fit that, just because I was so inspired by that, and I just, when we first started talking about doing it together, doing the remix together, I was super excited. So I knew I had to come lyrically with something to make people think, because that's a really good subject. It's a good subject.
It is, but you know what is even more interesting is how we finally finished it. You had years ago talked about doing it, and then you sent something to me, and I never did anything with it, and I'm just going through my files and listening to music, and sure enough, your verse pops up with this beat that you edited out that was a part of the song, and I was like, I got to do something with this right now. This is incredible. And it was just, here's a message to everybody out there. When the time is right, the time is right. And sometimes it doesn't always come together like you want. But if you're continuing to engage in your work, stuff will come up. Keep listening to the stuff that you have done, and every once in a while, a light will flicker, and it's like, wait a second, I know what I need to do with that now. And so that's there it is. And now it's done, and I'm going to be releasing that soon. But yeah, man, again, thank you.
Cool is the fact that it came together, and And we both do so many different things, so play so many different instruments, do different genres, produce. Both of us, and most of that album was rock based, and what I was doing at the time was mostly hip hop based. And then the song came together, and we still stayed true to that.
Yeah,
which is cool because, well, I still want to do some music where playing instruments and really getting down doing rock stuff. Definitely got to do that together.
Well, that brings us to the last 8 minutes here. First thing I'll say is when your verse came on and I had it played with the family in the car, everybody was like, whoa. It was that moment where it was like, okay, all right, this is really good and this works well with the song. So, man, that's incredible. So you had said something there that was interesting to me. I think the reason, and I'm a little wrong about this, but I think the reason that we're so into electronic beats and instruments right now is because it just sounds better on the phone. It's easier to master. It's easier to mix. When you get into those real instruments, it gets really difficult to take care of those frequencies and separate those instruments, but also bring them together and making them sound strong. I mean, I know you.
Yeah, that's 100% facts. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, if you have the right equipment and the right engineer and the right crew, I think that is not valid. You know what I mean? Because there's still rock music that comes out today that sounds really good and compares to R&B and hip hop and pop music.
Understanding the rules is good for us to have, because we can break them whenever we want to. Mm-hmm. And a lot of bands have done that, like Zeppelin specifically recording in a cathedral, knowing that the reverb will be so just ridiculous, just like a decay time of 6 or more seconds. So just ridiculous. So breaking the rule, knowing the rules, and then knowing how and when to break them in the chain, I think is super, super important.
You know who does a good job with that, and I listen to this band still, Duran Duran, where they will, this electronic instruments, but they're musicians, and they will be really smart with how they record cymbals. So they'll leave the snare and kick drum electronic, but then they're working those crash cymbals and the hi-hats. And sometimes they'll double the hi-hats and they'll pan left and right, and they pop, in and out real nice. So there's groups out there that do it really well. I listen to Beck a lot too, and he's very similar. But I'm going to get off of them because that's part of why I'm doing this, is to prove that they're great. But there's more people out there that deserve to be heard. So with that, we'll end it with this: promoting. What is your plan for promotion? What do you recommend other artists do, specifically music artists, about promoting their music on social media and elsewhere? Radio, is
a lot. One thing that I think that finding the most organic outreach is to just I hate to be so bluntly forward about it, but you just gotta pay to promote and put it in front of people's faces. People think you're paying for views or you're paying for followers. That's not the case at all. You just need to be in front of people's faces. Your talent is there, So I would say to everybody out there that wants to promote, then is to look for really good distribution and don't just hop on the first app that you see, because with my distribution, I use Symphonic, so they take a small percentage, but it's worth it because they have so much more to offer, marketing options. They're expensive, but they're worth it. I mean, it's $2,000 or $3,000 for a single, $5,000 for an album, I think, and they'll do a full campaign for you, run ads, all the social medias. So that's really where you start seeing results, real results. There's another few websites out there that we've been dabbling and trying for YouTube and Spotify, just doing some tests. Another really big one that is on our list to hopefully do big things with is Breaker. I don't know if you've heard of Breaker.
Go ahead and tell everybody about it.
It's spelled Breaker, but without the last E, Break R. And it was think owned, but sponsored by Toby McWiggly. He's a rapper. And it's basically a social media sharing platform. So you can, like, even World Star Hip Hop has an account. So you can get on there, you can get on World Star Hip Hop's account, and you can pay them, $15, $20, whatever, to reshare your song, say something cool about it, and they'll tell you exactly how many followers they have and if it's going to be permanent or if it isn't, for how many days. And it's really just cheap resharing promo, but it's all real and organic. You're paying for it, but it's directly to the real pages. And it's not expensive.
Is it free to join?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Completely free. Yep. PayPal. It's super simple. So there's a lot of stuff out there. You just have to be careful what you do with it. Just make sure, like on Facebook, to do the Facebook ads specifically for Facebook and Facebook only, upload directly to it, so it works better in your favor with the algorithm.
Have you ever been scammed, Josh?
Yeah, I don't want to call the artists out, but yeah, I've been scammed, and the biggest thing I can say when it comes to the music business is PayPal. Use PayPal. They have a great security, and you'll always get your money back. And it's tough to get scammed on there. They've been in business for a long time. Mm-hmm. But do not use Cash App or Venmo. They have no security whatsoever. And I made that mistake a few times.
I have had other people say the same thing. So.
Yeah, but it's a friends and family only app. Do not use it for business transactions. It's not good. And I'm not even sure you can write them off as business write-off. So you might not want to do it anyways.
Well,
but yeah, use PayPal and you'll be fine.
Cool.
Well,
hey man, thanks for talking with me. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah.
The promotion thing is huge, so we'll go back and talk about that again. But you enjoy that show, and again, everybody, Josh Cox is going to be playing June 4th at Blind Bob's. What is it? What's it called again?
It's the summer party. It's the Only Noise summer party.
Only Noise summer party. Check it out.
Saturday.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Good talking with you.
All right, you too.